Alrighty. So, these are going to be warm-up questions to begin with. How old are you?
I am 55 years old.
Perfect. What would you describe your current occupation as?
Say that again.
What would you describe your current occupation as?
Entrepreneur.
Perfect. What city were you born in?
St. Louis.
Perfect. Now, these are the actual interview questions. Would you like to be written as anonymously using a different name, or are you comfortable with me disclosing your name?
It took. I have to be just straightforward. I was going to give you a funny answer. I'm very comfortable with you disclosing.
Perfect. So, when did you retire?
Effective June 1st, 2012.
Perfect. What are the main reasons you decided to retire?
The number one reason is I didn't feel energized about executing my responsibilities anymore. It was very difficult to get enthused about doing something after 31 years. There was just not a whole lot of energy around what I was trying to do anymore.
All right. What resources did you utilize when making your decision to retire?
Mostly people that I respected outside of Edward Jones, where I was employed. I went and sought people I respect opinion about making changes, about what it's like. I've talked to a couple people who were retired to find out what they do and how they approached it, and I kind of had to decide whether I felt I could do some of those same things to be successful in retirement.
Gotcha. How big a role did money play in your decision?
That's a really good question. I've always believed that money is a negative motivator. And by that, I mean that if you're making $30,000 a year and you're unhappy doing what you're doing, and your employer discovers that you're unhappy doing what you're doing, so they give you a raise to $35,000 a year, and then you continue to do the job for 2 or 3 weeks, and then you go, not even money can make me happy. They've given me more money to do the same job, and I'm still not happy, and it makes it even more convincing that you're not happy doing what you're doing. So money, it was a consideration, but I wouldn't even consider retirement if I didn't feel like I could comfortably do it to where our lifestyle was not impacted.
Gotcha. All right. Have you noticed any changes in your spending after retiring?
I have noticed a lot of changes in my spending, but none in my wife's spending.
All right.
Your daughter's spending?
My daughters are perfect.
Oh,
Do not include that last comment from the interviewee's wife.
Gotcha. I will discard that. Do you have any regrets about retiring?
None.
Oh, perfect. What have been the positives and negatives about being retired?
The positives are I really like my boss a lot more being retired.
It's always good. That's good.
No. With the positives. I worked, the 31 years at Jones doesn't include the 2 years at Boatman's. So for 33 years, I was fully employed and had to make work a priority in my life. And so the change to being able to make my personal choices a priority, whether I want to go to Will's lacrosse game or go to Caroline's track meet or, do whatever I want to do, it is an incredibly positive feeling. It makes it's just something that I haven't had all my adult life, and there's just no comparing it. Just to be able to go be where you want to be, where your priorities are, and it's allowed me to re-establish my priorities, which are my kids and my family, and I've just really enjoyed that. And then obviously I have some other business interests that I spend a lot of time on, but I do that on my own time as well. The negatives about retiring, people kind of look at you like, you retired. Why? Like there's got to be this mystical reason that you're retired. What are you not telling me? It's kind of unusual. I don't have very many friends at my age that are retired, although I don't know if you remember Mr. Dara.
Don't know. Plugging in the phone.
Where did you go?
I'm plugging in my phone. It was, battery was fading. There we are.
I had one of the people that when I told you I talked to about retiring was Matt Dara.
Okay.
And he's a very senior executive at Enterprise. Mm-hmm. And we had a very long discussion about retiring, and he's exactly my age. And guess what?
What? Oh boy.
He's retiring in 2 months.
Oh, good.
So
good for
he
him.
took our discussion to heart as well. So you do want to make sure that you stay relevant. I mean, it takes an effort now. It's up to me what I want to get involved in. I'm not automatically included in anything like I would be if I was still at Edward Jones, where that's part of your responsibilities. So it's up to me to stay relevant and be motivated, and it's a lot more self-motivating and self-fulfilling. So that's a change, but that's not necessarily a bad change, but it's just something completely different than what I'm used to.
Gotcha. How has your family and friends responded to you being retired?
I would say, honestly, I think my family's been very supportive, which was really well received. And most of my friends are very jealous. I get a lot of, probably everybody's reaction was, boy, I am jealous. I'm happy for you, but I wish it was me. It's a very interesting stage in life.
Oh,
The traditional norm says that you're too young to retire at 55, but for the people that I've talked to, they've all been at their jobs for 25 to 35 years, and there's a very high burnout factor at 25 to 35 years, so I think they really feel like, boy, that sounds really good. So a lot of envy and a lot of support.
Great. What is your favorite part about retirement?
My favorite part about retirement?
Indeed.
A lot less pressure. I really feel when I wake up in the morning, when I was employed, you start immediately thinking about everything that you have to do today. You start immediately thinking about meetings that you have to go to, and you just feel that like your week is not your own. All these commitments that you're not in control over, and where they represent conflicts in your life, whether you can't do something you wanted to do, or you now have two things booked at the same time, and it's always, you're always, from the first minute you wake up, thinking about what obligations you have. And then when you're retired and you wake up and you go, like last week, I wanted to change it up a little bit, so instead of working out in the late afternoon, which I usually do, I went and worked out in the morning. And it was just to be able to go, I'm going to go work out in the morning today instead of the afternoon, it was just fun to do something different just because I can. So it's just a lot less, there's just a lack of stress of normal logistical things that you have to worry about.
Nice. That's peachy. So, as a retired American, what is your view on the issue of Social Security?
That's a really good question. My perspective of Social Security is will probably surprise you a bit. It's more on the liberal side.
Mm-hmm.
I really believe that I should not be entitled to Social Security.
Okay.
Because I just think that if you're able to retire at 55 and you can do so without worrying financially, that that you should not really receive the same benefits. I'm not counting on Social Security. It's a nice to have, but it's not a need to have. So I will put off my Social Security benefits as long as I can, so that Mom can get better benefits in case something happens to me.
Oh, perfect. So, describe the feelings you had on your first day of retirement.
It was thrilling. It was absolutely thrilling. It was, just something. It was just so cool after 33 years to do something different. So it was. I was thrilled. It was a very exciting day.
Oh, that's good. Okay, two more. Would you categorize the decision to retire as abrupt or more gradual?
What do you think, babe?
What's the question?
Was my retirement abrupt or gradual?
I think there's something that I don't understand here, but that's all right. Like your decision, like your thought process. Was it like?
No, I understand.
There's a parent joke going on here that I'm not part of.
No, I would say it was. I think it was gradual.
Gradual.
I started thinking about this. I was talking to Mom about retiring probably a year and a half ago.
Oh.
And just bringing up the subject and asking her about, what her feelings were about it. And so it was, but it was kind of, when I made the decision, it was abrupt. I mean, it was just like, I've made my decision, and I just didn't want to do it anymore. So it was gradual in the sense that I had been thinking about it, but it felt very abrupt when I finally made the decision and said I'm retiring.
Gotcha. The last question. How did your coworkers react to your retirement?
I think they were shocked.
Gotcha. Perfect.
They were shocked. I think people were I think it's just a sense of change. I've been there a very, very long time, and people got very comfortable knowing I was there. I helped support a lot of people there. So by the fact that, I made that decision, I think they were they were not expecting it. It was very shocking.
Gotcha. All right.